Mark Feltman. So I'm with Alternative Financing.
Okay.
And then I also have Judy Treichler. And so Judy's our head of ops and credit.
Great.
And so we have another partner who's not on, but what we're doing is we have the experience, both Judy, myself, and Rob, we have a lot of contacts with multiple funds, which is the money that funds these loans. And so what we're doing is we're acting like we work for you. We are working for GMCC loan officers to basically help structure, get them through the process, get quotes, get pricing, and really be able to offer you something that that most all the other loan officers really don't have, or they have to do by themselves. And so we're only private lending. So the only loans that
都是一样，大家谁都没想到这个疫情的话，这个政府发钱发的这个房价一直层层的往上涨啊。
I'm gonna mute some people here. Hang on just a moment.
这个是
All right. So the only loans that we do are private lending. And when I say private lending, usually that means bridge loans. So a bridge loan is really any loan that is 12 months or less. Really, they're 12-month loans. And these borrowers need the money to do a number of things. Either they want to buy a property very quickly. They say, hey, we want to buy this investment property. We want to buy this investment property and we want to fix it up. Or we have a multifamily, maybe a 5+ unit, or sometimes there's these DSCR situations that we get into that there's a reason they need to cash out very quickly. It meets normal DSCR, but they need something done in the next 10 days, or there's a reason that they need a short-term loan to fix a problem. Maybe they're late on their current mortgage. There's a bailout situation. So all of these loans, you guys can do these now with us. And so the idea behind doing these bridge loans is you have, it's expensive. It's an expensive loan that gets someone out of a problem or fixes something for them pretty quickly. And then once you have these loans, the idea is that you can take these borrowers, you give them a solution for 12 months, and then at the end, you do their takeout loaning, meaning their long-term DSCR loan, or you make a relationship with someone new by doing this, and now you have access to their whole portfolio, maybe their primary residence. These bridge loans are a tool for you to use this next year. As we go into next year, the more people you can solve problems for, the more loans you're going to get, and it's going to build your own pipeline. So for everyone on the call, I think we've done a few loans. I think David, right? We tried to do a loan. These are not cheap loans, right? These aren't like 8%, no points. A lot of times these loans are in the 10s, but
what information it's
long-term thing. It's really solving a problem. And so with that, I just want to kind of go in and make sure everyone understands these are investment tools to help everyone do more business. So with that, I think everyone can see my screen. I just wanted to go over a few things on the program. These are all, 12 to 18-month loans. They're all interest only. So every time these loans are all going to be interest only payments. There's never a prepay. The rates are usually 10.5 to 14. Depending on each loan, it's going to be 1.5. Sometimes the max will probably be 3.5 points. We've seen the highest 4 points. And then there's usually some kind of fee that gets charged to the borrower. And so all of these loans are going to have similar terms. And really what it is the borrower is buying this money for a year. They're saying, I'm in trouble. I want a house. I want to fix up a house. I have a plan to make money with this property. Can you get me a loan for the next 12 months? And so this is the general terms. We do loan amounts. Usually it's up to 6. Sometimes we'll go, some of these, you'll get these $8, $10 million loans. They're all kind of unique, but most of the loans are going to be between, probably $500,000 and up to, 2, 3, 4 million. And so that's kind of your typical bridge loan. Someone has a property, they want to buy it, fix it up, or they want to cash out to buy another property, are the three reasons we typically do these loans. We do mid-swing, meaning some of these people, there's actually a lot of people this last year that had a great plan. They borrowed money to buy a house and fix it up and rent it. Maybe it's a mixed use, maybe it's a multifamily. And 12 months later, we're now in this market and the house isn't selling. There's problems with the contractors. For whatever reason, they got themselves in trouble. Now their current lender is saying, this loan is due. You need to get another loan. And that's where you're coming in to help. And you can present these to us and we'll try to find an option to do basically get them out of the trouble they're in and do a new loan. The other thing that we do see, and it's usually on kind of coastal California, we can't do it in Texas or Florida, it's only California, is if we can do some owner occupied. So if they do have an owner occupied home in California and they just need money for whatever reason to either buy another property or cash out of their current, maybe they're delinquent on their current loan, whatever it is, we can do owner occupied in California. And then credit scores, usually 640 is kind of the minimum. However, we did have one loan that came in, we can do it less than 640. Once you go below 640, it gets really, really expensive because it's a private person who's lending their own money. Usually it's a fund that they say if it's less than 640, we'll lend the money, but it's going to cost multiple points. And it's usually a high interest rate. And so just heads up on credit. Properties, we do single family. We'll do 1 to really call it 25, maybe even more, 30 or 40 units, depending on the property. We'll do mixed use properties. So we'll, if there's some commercial space in it, we're okay doing that. And then there's really 5 types of loans. People will come to you for purchase. They'll come to you for rate and term, saying, hey, just give me some money to get out of my current hard money or current situation. They'll want to cash out, say, give me money out of my investment property so I can go buy something else. And then there's really a purchase and, or a rehab with fix and flip. And what that fix and flip means is they want money from you to pay off their current lien or to buy a house. Plus, they want money to help fix up the house so it'll be worth more in the future. And so we do all 5 of these loans. And so
they're going to charge $18.
With all that information on the programs, I guess here's what the most valuable part of this that I want to make sure everyone understands. Each one of these loans, unlike non-QM, is very unique. And so Judy, myself, Rob, we're here to work. We'll work very hard for you guys to find any loan we can and get it done. But each one is unique. So really the process of you just getting us the scenario, we'll do the hard work of structuring the loan. We'll help structure what LTV, what if it's a rehab, if it's not a rehab, we'll structure the loan. We'll price the loan. We'll go to 1 or 2, maybe 3 funds to help find the best price, whether maybe we can only do a 65 LTV at a point, but then maybe there's 2 other options to go to 70, but it's going to cost 2 points. And so we'll present all 3 of those for you to then go back and have options to the borrower. And then once the borrower accepts, we can do all the work through you to go help these borrowers process it, or you can just turn the borrower over to us and we can process it. And we're going to say we're your GMCC processor. We'll never say that we're with alternate financing or AF. We're here to help you do these loans. And so however you want to work that. But the main point is when you have a scenario, a borrower who wants short-term money, all you have to do is click on this link on these deals, and I'll send out a link. it takes you to a portal where you go through. It's very simple. You just fill out the information that you want on these loans. You send it into us. We get this and we'll call you right back and we'll get to work and help you structure these. And James and Mandy, I'll resend this again, but I think I'm pretty sure that everybody has this in our emails is the link to submit.
Yeah. Mark, you can resend to me. I will forward to everybody again. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, by the way, yeah, I want to say something. Whoever in urban, Southern California, so tomorrow I'm flying in about an hour to Southern California. Tomorrow, 10:30, we'll hold a boot camp at the City Industrial Office branch, San Gabriel City Industrial, Irvine, San Gabriel all the official coming to City Industrial. 10:30 and 11:30, Mark will be in person available to answer questions as well. All right, maybe Mark in the future might come to Bay Area, but for now, Mark will be available tomorrow, 11:30 at the City Industrial Office, 1 hour boot camp. All right, okay, yeah.
Okay, sir. Can you please double check again the wire before you sign, just to make sure it's correct?
So thank you, James. And yeah, so I'll be in tomorrow. If you guys want some food, I'll bring in some food for everyone. And then the other piece of this is, I think there's a lot of questions on these loans. If you can just, the more basic information you can start with, we are here to get you answers and we're here to help you close these loans. So we don't want to charge a lot of money. We don't want to kind of pigeonhole people. We want to give them a lot of options. And so all we need your help with is basically answering the questions from the borrowers so we can get the information to help you do these loans.
This.
Yeah, sure, I sign.
Here are the date, please.
And so with that, I don't know, is there any questions from anyone?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mark.
It's a Mark. There's a couple questions on the chat window. You want to answer the question?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Let's see. So the chat, please inform yourselves. Happens yeah, I don't see any questions in there, but yeah, if anyone does have questions.
Okay, Mark, let me ask the question, okay?
Yeah.
One of the question is, what happens if borrower cannot pay off the loan in 12 or 18 months?
So there's usually an extension after month 12. It costs them usually a point every 3 months is how most of the funds work it. And they'll extend it for 3 months if they're current, right? If they're not current, then they basically foreclose on the property. But if they're current, they'll give them an option to extend for 3 months. And so one of the questions that we're going to ask is, what is your exit strategy if you get this loan? And what that means is when someone's giving you 12 months worth of money, how are you going to pay that loan off in 12 months is one of the questions all these bridge lenders ask. And so when you have a scenario, we'll get the answer to that question. Maybe they're going to sell the property. Maybe they're going to refi into a long-term loan. Maybe they have credit problems. Whatever it is, you have a solution today to be able to get them out in 12 months. So hopefully it should never be a problem. We have a solution already to get them out of the loan in 12 months.
Okay,
Good question.
So actually, whoever wants to do this type of loan, make sure you have a plan with the borrower to refinance them within 12, after 12 or 18 months. Don't just get them a loan without any other, backup plan for your loan. Can everybody mute yourself? It's hard to talk over you on your phone.
Speak, please mute yourself.
Okay. Next question is no prepayment means no prepayment, right? There's no prepayment penalty. If the term is 12 months and the borrower pay it off within 4 months, would that be any prepayment penalty or anything?
That's correct. So no prepay. The whole idea of these loans is to have, they're just temporary loans to get someone to fix up the school. And then it's up to all of you guys
스탁을 떨어지고 있어 지금.
to get these loans.
Mark, sorry, can you mute everybody
yeah,
again? It just
I'm gonna-
keep your
뭐
voice.
올라오긴 올랐는데 올랐다가 쭉
I'm
떨어졌어.
so sorry.
파는 거지.
Mark, just mute
take
everyone.
No, I'm gonna try. I'm trying to mute everything in a second. Let's see. Here we go. All right.
Okay, good.
So the idea
You
behind
know
these
what?
loans,
I'm good.
the idea behind these loans is it's a 12-month loan with no prepay. So they're only using the money as long as they want during those 12 months. And then it's an opportunity for you guys. This is, everyone should be thinking that when you do this loan, you're helping them solve a short-term problem. And then you're going to do a takeout loan after this. So the reason this is kind of a symbiotic relationship, right? We're doing these loans short-term. You're probably not going to make a lot of money on these short-term loans, but what you do get is you get a DSCR loan out of the same loan, if not multiple DSCR loans for next time. And so it's a tool that you're using to help borrowers now to get their loans after 12 months. Then you can do a DSCR loan through GMCC and everybody's happy and walks away from the table. So these are tools to get loans in the door. So let's see, I think
Okay, sorry. I need to unmute myself. So another question is, I saw the point is, from 1 to 4+ point. Is there anything you can we have a higher interest rate but lower point?
Yeah, so we can always try to do that. It's not a very good buy-up because these are not long-term loans, right? So usually on a long-term loan, if you buy up the interest rate, people are going to make money over the duration of the loan. Where these short-term loans, if you go from, same thing when borrowers push back on rate, they go, oh, I can't believe it's 11%. You say, well, 11%, if you only use the money for 6 months, that's only 5.5% you're paying. And so there's no real money in the interest rate. Everyone fights over and wants to talk about points. And so our philosophy, and Mandy and James, right, you guys, I think, are on board with this. We are too. We'll work for as cheap as we can. We are not here to make a bunch of money on every loan. These points, we go as low as we can to get the loan because we'd rather do a loan for some money than charge a bunch of money and not get the loan. So every loan we do, we'll put in, we're working for quarter, half, maybe most. And so we just want to get enough to pay our bills and pay our underwriting. We're not looking to make a lot of money on one loan. We're looking to do a lot of loans. And so I think you guys should be looking at that the same way. This isn't a big payday. This is an opportunity to get a borrower's portfolio of loans or their primary or another loan from them.
Okay, so yeah, so think about agents. You have to think, but this is a non-treat, non-QM loan. So you have to think about how much point you want to charge also. So if you want to make a lot of money, you're charging a lot of points. Of course, there's a lot of points up front. So your commission will be part of the equations here too. So we can talk when you have a file. Okay. So we cut that. Okay. Vera has a question for the property type. Do you do commercial to residential project?
Yeah, so like if it's like a hotel conversion, we can entertain those. So a lot of these, one thing to keep in mind on all of these, whenever you get into commercial or mixed use, the funds who are lending the money, right? The people we're going to credit committee and asking for your loan, they want to know a lot of things. And so there's no matrix that says, oh yeah, if you have a 660 score, I can get you 70% on that commercial. The commercial people want to know, what's the property? What do they intend to do with the property? What's the borrower's experience on the property? They have all of these questions they want to know answers to. And so our job, the hardest thing is getting them the clear answers on the deal. Then they can make a decision on how much money and at what cost they can lend. But whenever you have a commercial, a mixed use, anything with a story, we love doing those loans, but we need your help to get answers so that we can do our job and find a good home for it.
Yep.
So the answer is yes, we will do those.
Okay, good. T has a questions. What are the GMCC fees on top of the $24.95? You know what? This is eternal. T, you can work with me when you have a loan. Okay, we can always work out these things. Rachel has a question. Can you do second loan for this program? CLTV max at 80%. Do you do second?
We do have a second mortgage for business purpose. We do. I don't have. I didn't put it on here. We just got it, and so we do have a second. If you have one, if you give me the just basic information, I'll ask and I'll get you terms.
You mentioned about business purpose, so only for investment property, or?
This is only for investment property. I don't have an owner occupied second. I apologize.
But investment second is big. I mean, most of the second may not do investment. So with an investment second is good. So
yeah, and Mandy, you should have, and if not, we'll talk offline, but I'll get you to, there's a bunch of places doing good second owner occupied seconds that GMCC should have.
The GMCC have some for doing owner occupied second. Investment second, on the other hand, is hard to come by. So that's why I mentioned that this is for investment property, which is good.
Yeah, so we have business purpose second lien. We have that, and I'm not sure that LTV yet, but we just got it.
Okay. Do we need to add our LO compensation? How does compensation work? Yeah, Carl, you need to add your LO compensation. You need to work with me. Okay, if you do have a loan, work with us. We can, me and Marks can work together on the fees. They are, we just try to, help the borrowers to get this loan done. So, 12 months later, they can refi to a good loans. I'm not good loan. I mean, these loans are good too. I mean, a lower interest rate loan. Okay.
A less expensive loan.
Yeah, less expensive loan. Okay. Realtor wants to make a private money offer without loan contingency. Is this feasible? Yeah, right, Mark.
As long as it's
money for purchase, right? No problem.
As long as it's business purpose, right? As long as they're doing this as an investment and it's not their owner occupied house, all of these, we call them story loans, right? There's a story or a problem as to why you can't do it through GMCC, right? There's a guideline, the investors don't allow it, there's a problem, and that's why we do a lot of these loans. So yeah, we'll definitely do these loans.
Yeah, so you can always work with Mark and his team on all the leads that you have. He will help you to find the right product for your problem loans. Okay, Mindy has a question. An owner of an investment property wants to take out about $200,000 cash to update the property. This is low interest mortgage. Oh, this is the same thing for an second. Yes, Mindy, Mark already say for investment property, they do have a second for the investment property, that second lien on the investment property. You can work with Marks on that. Susanna has a question. What about vacant lot property? Do you do land loans?
No. So that's a good point. I'm glad you brought this up. There's two big things that are going on right now that you're going to see a lot of. The first one is land loans. Do we lend on land? And we don't lend on land right now. That market, we don't, it's not very stable, and we're not in it yet. So that's just an easy no. We don't lend on land. The new construction, there are a lot of people who have land, they have all the permits done, they want to build, or they want to tear down the house and rebuild. We do that, but we need until the end of January. So it's coming soon. New construction or a rebuild, a tear down and rebuild, we'll have that by the end of January.
Okay, good. Len has a question on the underwriting. Len, this is a hard money loan, so it's of course different, very different than our jumbo. If you have a question, we can talk offline on that. What is the rate range of the second investment? I think there's a lot of interest on your second.
Yeah, on the second.
investment, huh?
After this meeting, I'm gonna update our flyer, and I will send out an updated flyer, and I'll include the business purpose second lien information. I'll get that to everyone.
Okay, that'd be great. You have program. Do you have investment program on commercial permanent loan? Do you do commercial loan period? Huh?
So,
Permanent though. This is not your.
yeah. So when you say commercial, that's kind of a big category, and so a lot of these commercial, they want some residential there, like mixed use. If we're talking like an office building or something, we can maybe help, but those aren't really what we do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we still really have a lot of interest on the second. Rose have the question on minimum or maximum loan amount on the second lien.
Yeah. So yeah, let me I'll do a full write-up. I'll do second, the rates, the LTV, and then some basic property types and how to get that done. But I'll get that out after this meeting.
Right. See, I told you, second on an investment. I got a lot of questions on it. Now that that's the solution for the agents, I'm happy.
Yeah, so this will be good. We have like 3 funds that do them now, and I'll get all that information out. We'll see if we can do something. I think that would be a good, because if they come to you on the second, hopefully they don't pay it off. They come back to you and get a DSCR for the whole thing.
Right. Because sometimes, even though with investment property, a few years ago, how low the interest rate were. So sometimes they got the like 3%, 4% interest rate on the first, but they want to pull the money out. So they really don't want to do, a whole refi at this time. But rates, we are all expecting rate going to drop, next year or the year after. So it will be a chance for them to refi in the futures, but they might want to just to pull the money out for the second. So 12 to 18 months will be a good time frame. Vicky has a question. For the fix and flip, do you require the job to be performed by licensed contractor?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no. If they're going to do what's called heavy rehab and tear down a lot of stuff in the property, we'll want them to know who's their contractor. If they're just putting in windows or fixing up the house, right, they're doing minimal, then no, they don't need a licensed contractor. So it really depends on every one of those loans where they're asking money to fix it up. The borrowers are going to come to you with a budget. They always are going to have a budget. They're not just going to say, give me cash, a bag of cash. They're going to say, here's my budget. I want to fix up the property. Here's what I want to do. I want to do windows. I want to do the kitchen and the bathroom. And then here's how much money I need. They do the work, and then we reimburse them for that work. And so all of those borrowers who want money from you to fix up their home, they'll always have a budget. And so depending on that budget, they'll need to be licensed or not.
Okay, good. T.S. follow-up question. Would you do a purchase loan for a half completed construction project? I think.
Yeah. So that's again, it's called whenever somebody got themselves in the middle of something, it's called a mid-swing. And what that means is somebody else gave them money to start something and they couldn't finish it. And so anyone who's going to lend money on that now goes, wait a minute, Mark got himself in trouble. He couldn't finish his property with the amount of money they gave him the first time. Now he wants more money. And so usually there's a story there, and we need a lot of information to help make that loan. So they're called mid-swing loans, and we do them, and we just need a lot more information because somebody got themselves in trouble.
Yeah, so actually that is the whole purpose, having part of Mark's team here is to do those loans. I can tell you, when you do a full conventional loan, if your house is, if the borrower's house under remodeling is not done, and they want to get some, get cash out and want to finish that, and your remodel is not done, there's a hole here, a hole there. Agency loan or conforming loan, we cannot do that. But that's why you need a bridge loan. You need have completed construction loan to get the project done before you can refi into a conventional loan. Good questions.
Yeah,
I have a few loans in the past that they are in the middle of in the middle of remodeling. You know, this a whole wall was gone, and they are when we see the appraisal report, and then we say we cannot do this law, and the agent kind of surprised. There's no surprise for it. If the house is not done, it's not livable, we cannot do it under conventionals. That's why we need this. Okay.
Yeah, so I think there's probably 4 reasons. That's a great one, Mandy. Is the house isn't done. There's another one where it's timing. They say we can go buy a house, but we need the money like in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. And so that's another reason they wanted people to do short term. They need it now so that they can get it and pay it off. Cash out is a big one. They have somebody has a property. They have a story, either their credit's bad or they're behind on their loan or whatever reason, they need money out of that house. And so that's a reason for a short-term loan. And so those are all, or the property's so funny, right? It's a mixed-use property and the agency doesn't want to do it. And all your GMCC non-QM investors don't like it. If there's something commercial about the property, you don't like it, a lot of times we can get that done.
Yeah, so that's good. Another question, do you do pre-approval? So the borrower can make an offer with no contingency to buy, fix, and flip property.
Yeah, Mandy, can you answer that? Because I don't know how that works. We're not going to give you
I don't know. I mean, if you're buying a fix and flip, do you want to see the property is first or?
What the way this works is you give us the information, right? You tell us about the borrower and the property. We'll give you back it's called a soft quote. Basically, the terms of the loan. We'll tell you we can't get this done at 80%, but we can get it done at 65%. And so you go back to the borrower and say, nope, I'm sorry, we can't get 85, but we can get 65. Do you still want to move forward? And they say, yeah, we're okay moving forward. We'll issue what's called an LOI. Well, it's a letter of intent with all of the terms and say, look, if you're okay with the borrower would sign these terms. And if so, and everything meets those terms, the loan would fund. And so that LOI is maybe like a pre-approval.
Yeah, probably. See, what you need to do, Vicky, is you need to run the credit. I think they do want to see the credit. Run the credit, and there's an information sheet. I mean, I did that before. There's an information sheet. You fill out that information sheet and send it to Marks, and they will, the rate sheet that you look, the information that you guys look at before is in general. So whatever you put down, all the information you send it to them, they will come back with the rate to you. That's no income. That is no. Of course, they need to look at the property. They need to look at your credit, but that's no income information. So that's not much to underwrite per se on that part. I mean, majority of the underwriting would come from, credit, property, and income, right? So there's no income. And if you are making a TBD means there's no property. So it's hard for really to TBD approval. So, but if you give them enough information, they will tell you at least what you're looking for, what kind of rates and terms you're looking for per se.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Andy. And so, I guess the big part of all this is when you have these loans, we are here to help you through the whole process. And if you need something, ask me, and if I can't answer it for GMCC, I'll go to Mandy or whatever. But we will help you. We're here to make these loans work, and so whatever you need, we'll find the answers for you.
Okay. Do you accept borrower as general contractor for fix-up purchase?
Yeah, absolutely. We love it.
I think that is one of the big piece of the programs here is this what they are for.
Foreign nationals, I-10s, all accepted. So yeah, if you have any foreign national or people with visa or legal stuff, we can make it work.
So even F1 student, EAD card, all that.
These are all people are buying this money for a year, and it's lent on their credit score and their house. And if it's a foreign national, it's really just lent on the house. And so the LTVs will be lower. It might be a little more expensive, maybe another half a point or something in points. But we do have options for all of that. People are if they don't pay, the borrower doesn't pay, then the lender takes back the house. And so whatever they don't like taking back the house. And so whatever they're comfortable with, they'll lend on. Yeah.
Okay, Carl has a question. Since some of these are rescue loans, what kind of credit would not work?
We can do, I think David and I had a loan. It wasn't that bad of credit, but I think they had a bankruptcy and it was like a 624. Whenever we can make any credit work, it just gets very expensive. And so,
and also too, think about the car. I think the more important question is what is the exit plan? I mean, remember the loan is 12 or 18 months. What is your exit plan for the borrowers? With a very, very low FICO. So if you can solve that, I think they will, definitely take a look at your loan.
Yeah, if you're going to work on their credit the next 12 months and then do a DSCR or whatever, that's great. That's a common thing and that happens a lot. Yeah.
So, more important is that how, you need to present an exit plan. It doesn't have to be a detail, but at least you have some strategy to help the borrower to get out of this high money loan. Yeah, mortgage rate is fine. That's not the issues. LLC for the investment property, since it's a business purpose loan, do you have to does the borrower has to vest it in LLC or they can vest it in individual?
Yeah, they're all LLCs. We can help if the borrower doesn't have an LLC, we can help them. But yeah, these are all investor programs. So they're anything with rehab, people are going to ask experience, right? This isn't like a borrower saw something on TV and now they want money to go rehab. Every one of these is a professional investing tool for their business purpose stuff. And so they're all in LLC. They're all to LLC companies, not to individuals. And if any of them don't have it, we'll help them set up the LLC. It takes a couple of days. And I think it's a couple $100, and then they'll have an LLC. It's very easy.
Okay. Let me see. I think that is all the questions we have on the checkbox. Anyone else has many questions? I mean, Mark is very helpful. He works really late and he works really early. I mean, I text him over at 11 o'clock at night and I got an answer back from him. I text him over the weekend, I got an answer back. I don't expect you to do all that to him. I mean, I'm a special person, but he is very responsive. So if you do have any odd cases, don't limit yourself. Don't let the sky be your limit. Don't let your imagination be your limit. Just work with Mark. Tell him what's the worst case. He say no to you. I asked him about $10 million commercial loan. He say no to me. I say next year. Okay, so we can wait. But there's nothing wrong to give him tell him what your loan situation is. Then he can tell you if he can do it or not. Again, this is not for the conventional loan. No, not agency, not jumbo, not the regular DSCR or bank statement type of loan. This is really off the for the borrower that cannot really get those type of loan, and it's short term that they can help them. But again, I can see a lot of interest on the second loan for the investment, so we will get more information on that. Okay. How many days to close?
So anywhere from 10 business days. Up to maybe I don't know, Judy. What's your gut feeling on closings?
It varies, right? I mean, a lot of this is like limited documentation, so it could be very quick. So it could be any 10 to 30. I mean, it depends.
Yeah, if it's like a fix and flip, they will give you a lot more. If you construction loan, that's even worse. So if it's like just a hot money bail out loan, that might be much faster if your LTV is low. I mean, it really depends on your loan. There's no turn time for them, but they will turn it as fast as they can.
So
and I found working with a lot of different funds, they're going to want to order the appraisal with their AMCs and stuff, so just account for that, because usually it's timing of the appraisals getting ordered and back.
Right. So again, they do their own appraisal. So you need to work with them. So I think the first thing my experience is they do have a worksheet that you fill in with the borrower's information, the property information. Once you fill and what kind of loan you want to do, once you fill that in, it's really easy to do, and you don't have to fill out everything if you don't know everything. I mean, that's what I did. And then send it to Marks, and then they will give you some kind of like pricing. And if everything the pricing work out, if you have question on the pricing, on the fees, or on your commission, please work with me, okay? Talk to me, and I will work with you on the loan. And once everything is all set, then work with Marks. They will tell you what's the next step, and then you just go from there. Do you use transfer appraisal? Can we use appraisal from a loan that's already done but it's failed?
Yeah, so it depends. Here's something I've learned, and this is borrowers will come to you, and if they don't have an appraisal, right, it's going to take longer because you have to order an appraisal. But if they do have an appraisal and they go, oh, I have an appraisal, you go, well, why did you have an appraisal? You probably got declined somewhere else. And so there's a reason that they have an appraisal ready to go, and it's usually because it's been declined. And so just keep that in mind. And so if there's no appraisal, it takes longer. And then if they've been declined, sometimes it takes longer because we have to figure out why they were declined somewhere else and move from there. But yeah, the appraisal is one of the big pieces that we wait on. That's one of the harder time frames to judge.
Yeah, so if it's a decline by GMCC, that's easy because we can tell them exactly why we declined the loan.
And you're right. This could be an agency decline, a non-QM decline. There's a lot of good reasons for it. We can take those appraisals from other people sometimes.
Yeah, that's the key. It's sometimes. So from a timing perspective, most of them won't. And they need to make sure it is from an AMC, not directly from a borrower. We just want to make sure the arm's length.
So if it's a failed loan from GMCC, then probably that might be okay. Because we do use AMC, and it's really third party, and we have no influence on that appraisal. That may have some weight on that, but of course, once you get a case, work with them. It's case by case.
Exactly.
Case by case. Case by case, okay? Yeah. Right. All right.
Just be aware. It's like we can
Yes,
ask.
like
it doesn't hurt to ask, right? But it's a matter of just be prepared in the event that we do need to order a new appraisal. That does trigger the timing.
All right. Anyone else have any questions?
Hey, Mandy, can I call you after the meeting? We
Yes,
got
please
it.
do. Yeah, please do. Yeah,
Thank
I know, I saw you. So yeah, please do. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. All right. And if not, then that's all. Thank you, Marks. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Mandy. Thanks, James.
Okay. Yeah, once Mark sends the information to us, James will forward and to everybody. Thank you very much. Bye-bye now.
Look forward to work with everyone. Bye.
Goodbye.